Hey, welcome back to the Click and Mortar podcast. Mike and Dustin with you here again. We want to get into a more technical topic today, and that is value-based bidding, and we'll get into what that means and how that can affect you as a B2B business. Really quickly, when you're in an e-commerce business, you have pretty easy signals of how much money you're making so you can optimize towards ROAS and conversion. When you're in a B2B business, it's more challenging to do that because you may not necessarily have an end sale that is somewhere sitting in a platform, so harder to optimize. But we're here to tell you that there's hope. It just takes time and investment and know-how. So I'm going to kick it over to Dustin to get into the essential pieces of doing this. It's a key thing here, folks. If you want to be able to find the right customers that have the highest value for you, you want to set this up. So Dustin, I'm going to kick it to you and we can get into some of the pieces and I'll dig into you with some questions afterwards.
Love this topic. In the B2B industry, many people don't use the term ROAS and think it's not suitable for B2B because it's typically lead gen. It is, and really it is a big component of how you can really grow and scale and bring in quality leads and higher deal sizes. So really the reason why it's so hard is it's RM that's involved, and it's simple, but it's hard or difficult to do. And really what we need is opportunities. Most people are familiar with opportunities. As leads come in, they're going through the sales pipeline. As soon as it closes, just associating that revenue to the deal is the big component. And once we have that, we have ROAS. And as simple as that sounds, it's difficult to do, and we'll kind of walk through what it takes.
So why do people fail here? What happens in either systems or from a human system perspective? Why does this fail? Why can't people do this, or why do people fall on their face, or how do they fall on their face?
The biggest thing is the people. It's getting everyone involved, and really the hardest part is starting it. Sales doesn't want to use it because now it's just another thing to do. But once it's all hooked up and the data is coming in, they're a lot happier. So the hardest part is getting adoption between marketing and sales, because marketing's the one that wants it to see how marketing is doing and get the ROI on things. So you have a people component of it. And then outside of that, the setup of how to make all the data flow accurately to all the different platforms and get the signals. It's not a just flip of a button. There's UTM setup. There's a lot of execution that has to be done correctly and integrations that have to be done correctly to make it happen. So you have a technical and people problem. So it makes it really difficult to make this happen.
So talk us through some of the technical outline of what people need to set up here. Obviously, they have to have a CRM, then they have to have some tracking components and measurement components within that. If you could walk us through that stack of what people need to have set up here, then we can talk about the human problem.
So most major enterprise CRMs connect natively to all the ad platforms. That makes it a bit easier to track leads. Typically what we see is most people will track marketing qualified, sales qualified, and closed won. And what we're talking about are these closed won. And really what this takes is offline conversions. And what it takes is simply whenever a deal is done, how do we pass that offline data to the ad platforms? And so it's a bit of technical setup, and a lot of how it's done is through Google Sheets. And so there's a bit of automation that when the deal happens, all the data has to go to a Google Sheet. It has to be formatted correctly and uploaded with the correct data to the ad platforms, so that it can track what click it came from, campaign, and whatnot. So the CRM is a component. If it can be integrated, great. But the major component of what we're talking about is when a deal gets done, get that data to a spreadsheet so that it can be uploaded to the ad platforms every night and then attributed to what platforms drove it.
So essentially you need to have the technical stack in place so that you have CRM, marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, and then someone filling in a deal amount or a closed won deal amount at the end of it to then feed the system and feed that signal back to us. And that's where the human pieces come into play. Obviously, there's the technical pieces and the platforms being able to communicate with each other and the number of systems required for that. Then there's the human problem, which we'll get into next, correct?
Yep. And to try and make it as easy as possible, all these ad platforms have a Facebook Click ID, Google Click ID, and that's all that's used to pass as the closed won deal has happened. So once that Google Click ID gets uploaded, it knows where that click came from, who, and attributes it to it. So to make it easy, just get the Google Click ID or the Facebook Click ID to the ad platforms. But yeah, that technical integration is how to do it.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Then there's the human component, and this is where we see teams having a large challenge, marketing teams building opportunities for sales, and then sales having to close off the loop in the closed one and entering the amount there. Honestly, that's the biggest problem that we see as a B2B marketing agency is the communication between the marketing group and the sales group. And when sales is actually closing business, doing the manual entering of that information in order to enter the deal size, or how much that deal was worth, so that it can be fed back. I don't know of any ways to make that simpler right now other than training humans and where and how to do that, Dustin. But did you have any thoughts on that other than training people on doing the last mile of their jobs?
Honestly, what I've seen is marketing wants it, so marketing has to lead it. And in order for sales to adopt it, you can't just say, go in and fill out this information. To me, marketing, getting it hummed in and, here's where leads are coming from. How are they interacting with the site? What lead magnets are they downloading? Essentially getting a user journey history that you can give to sales. And then once you have some marketing qualified, once you have some leads in there, then have sales go through it, look at what these prospects did. Here's how you could talk to them. Once they see that, all of a sudden the aha moment happens and they see that the sale could be easier. Ultimately, salespeople, they just want to close the deals and earn their commission. So if you can show them how they can close more deals faster and earn a larger commission, you're going to get more buy-in. So it's more of a psychological thing, and it does take marketing to build it out to then get buy-in. And then once you have buy-in, all of a sudden everyone loves it because leads are cheaper, deals are getting done, everyone is scaling faster, and then everyone grows and everyone gets paid more. So it's not a black and white or easy thing to do, but it is the hardest hurdle, but once done, has great fruit with it.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the scoring system piece and scoring leads pre-sales and those leads coming from marketing to sales?
Big component that we've seen success going from lead to deal and what creates more buy-in from sales is not just giving them every form fill that happens. We need to nurture them. We need to get them familiar with the brand and identify what it is that they actually want. So we'll do lead generation and nurture them. And then through that, we'll have scoring. So are people opening or clicking? That's very fundamental, but take it more advanced. Are people going to certain pages? How long are they staying on sites? What videos are they watching? Are they downloading lead magnets? All these different engagement points. Most CRMs today can associate a point to that, 5, 10, 20, whatever it is. And so it's a matter of identifying what are people engaging with, put a score association to them, and then once they pass a certain threshold, then give them to sales. And that's what creates that mechanism of forcing the what happened, what are people doing, to then how can sales actually interact with this lead. And once you do that, that makes that interaction a bit harder. And what I do think is that once you start getting to scoring, people let perfect be the enemy of great, and it doesn't need to be 500 or 20. It's pick a number, pick some activities and let it run, and then you will continue to optimize it over time. It won't be perfect out the gate, so don't waste time trying to perfect it.
And then on the back end of that, and this is a question I actually don't know, for the closed one piece, are there systems within some CRMs that will shoot a summary to a salesperson, let's say, and say, hey, have any of these 20 deals closed in the last 15 days? And if so, go in and enter the amounts and the final sale amounts for these 10 deals. Does that functionality exist as well?
In some of the enterprise CRMs, yes, we use high level and it can be set up there. And as we're talking through it, it's just a matter of, if everyone's using the pipeline, you have has it aged or has it sat there for a while? And you can set up mechanisms to, hey, it's been sitting here, just give feedback and just make it easy for sales to click a yes or a no or whatever, text yes, text no, and you can automate progression through there. So you don't have to have everyone logging into CRMs and dragging things. You can make it interactive and make it fun. So yeah, totally doable. Takes a little time. It's not like an easy button out the gate, but yeah, definitely doable.
It's almost like an abandoned cart mechanism for the internal B2B team. So, hey, you have all these potential buyers in your cart. Did they purchase? And if so, if not, let's get them over. And what's the amount? If so, what's the amount that you've closed them on? Cool. So let's wrap up with a timeline and or a roadmap for someone going from relatively cold start with this through to executing on this. Can you outline for the folks out there timelines and milestones that they should look at when they're trying to implement something like this?
Once you get up and running and you have leads coming in, the next milestone is just really, and that's a quick setup, week or two, but really the next milestone is that MQL or SQL and then closed won. What are the stages in that pipeline? And typically it'll take you about 1 to 3 months to define them, see it, refine it, and get it nailed down. And that's, 3 months is still kind of going fast. 1 to 3 months, 1 to 6 months is in that range, depending on how technically savvy the team is. From there, once you have it defined, it's really adoption. Now that you have MQLs, SQLs, that's when you really bring the sales team in and go, here's all of our SQLs, this is what we would define, hot leads, here's MQLs, and show them the system, show them the scoring, and now you bring sales in, and that's where it's going to take 4 to 9 months to create the culture, the conversation, what's needed to get the village bought in, if you will. Once it's bought in, then it's a matter of a good 10 to 24 months from there of how are we, refining our CRM? How are we scoring things? How are we passing deal values? So it's almost on a quarterly basis. You're going to have things on how you can make the CRM better, strategies better, and refine it. And it takes a quarter for it to run and see it. So that's the reason why it takes that 24-month range, because you make changes. It's going to be 3 to 6 months before you can tell, are those good? Are they bad? How can we make them better? How can we revert? It is a very iterative process, and patience is key, and discipline, which are 2 things that are very hard with humans today.
We've been working with one client, for example, for almost 2 years now, and we're just now getting to the closed won phase where we're getting that deal value and having that come through. So I hope you all heard Dustin's outlining of the time and investment that takes to do this. We're talking 12 to 18 to 24 months to get all of this humming along. So in summary, the reason why we're doing this and the reason why we're coaching you all in this piece is so that you can get better leads, you can get more high quality leads, and therefore your business can grow more effectively. We're an agency that wants to give you agency to do these things, and this is very important. And if you don't know how much a deal is worth or a lead is worth, how are you going to find more of those? That's the general outline here and what we're trying to outline for you all. Dustin, last word before we jump off.
If you truly want to scale and you're not doing this, just get started. It's hard, but you got to just do it.
All of things that are good in life are hard. So we're here to help. If this seems interesting to you, please book a discovery call on the site. We'd love to jump in on a discovery call with you. We do B2B lead generation for B2B companies, and this is a key component to it. If this piques your interest, please schedule a call with us. Obviously, there's no charge for that, and we love talking strategy and how we can line this up and or do an audit of your systems to see where your gaps are and what you might need. So until next time, thanks for joining us on the Click and Mortar podcast, and we'll talk to you soon.